Chairman Smith, Ranking Member Payne, and distinguished members of the committee, and Mr. Frank, thank you for holding this important hearing and for the opportunity to update you on the hard work of my colleagues in the Department of State in responding to this global threat to the well-being of children. I also want to thank my colleague, Assistant Secretary Campbell, for his deep personal involvement in this issue. The problem of parental-child abduction is deeply important to Secretary Clinton, who demonstrated her commitment to children by appointing me as her Special Advisor for Children's Issues last year. And tomorrow, the Bureau of Consular Affairs and Assistant Secretary Janice Jacobs and Assistant Secretary Campbell will hold another town hall meeting with a group of left-behind parents, and this will be the 6th such town hall meeting to date. Mr. Chairman and Mr. Payne, your leadership and involvement in this area strengthens the U.S. government's message to foreign courts and central authorities in long-standing abduction cases. My written statement goes into detail about my role, the role of the Office of Children's Issues, and the Department of State in general on this topic. Let me assure you that we are all committed to resolving current abduction cases, reuniting parents and children, and helping prevent future abductions. We strive to do what is in the best interest of children caught in these tragic situations. Case officers in the Bureau of Consular Affairs, Office of Children's Issues, and Foreign Service officers at our embassies and consulate overseas work hard to achieve this goal every day. Unless we succeed in returning a child to the United States, we have not been successful. As you know, we have abduction cases to both Hague and non-Hague countries. We work equally hard in both areas to return children to the United States. As this chart demonstrates, over the past 5 years, we are increasing our success in achieving returns from both Hague and non-Hague countries. It is interesting to note that the non-Hague return numbers have remained about the same, while Hague returns have steadily been increasing. Of course, the existence of the Hague Convention makes our work easier in some ways, but we often encounter other challenges. In non-Hague countries, we rely on quiet diplomacy, knowledge of local conditions, and respect for local customs, and often less visible means to try to resolve an international abduction case. The Hague Convention remains our best hope of resolving international abductions. It is the first subject that I bring up with foreign governments during my travels on behalf of the Secretary. Parental abductions are tragedies that affect American families both in the United States and overseas. When a parent flees with a child across a state line, there is certainty that a court order from one state will be recognized in another. For a left-behind parent, there may be stress and fear, but there's also belief in the American judicial system and the rule of law. When a parent takes a child across an international border under false pretenses, the left-behind parent is faced with the daunting task of navigating unfamiliar legal, cultural, and linguistic barriers. They suffer emotional trauma and face significant and long-term financial stress to reunite with their children. We are fully committed to serving left-behind parents and children who are the victims of this crime. Let me give you some highlights of what we have been doing lately. Today, the Office of Children's Issues is one of the largest offices in the Bureau of Consular Affairs. We have almost 100 people working on abductions. The growth of the office enables us to broaden our prevention activities, ensure consistently high standards of service, improve training, and engage more vigorously with other countries. It also allows us to monitor and improve our own compliance with the Convention. The Convention, although a successful operating agreement, is not a perfect instrument. Fostering compliance with the treaty is an ongoing challenge. Over the last few years, the Department has participated in numerous judicial conferences and met with officials from 23 countries. The efforts are paying off, and my written statement details improving relationships, but not perfect ones, with Mexico, Brazil, Switzerland, and Bulgaria. In non-convention countries, examples of successful cases highlight how the Department of State can play an invaluable role in helping left-behind parents understand foreign laws and their options, and we can point to some recent successes in the Philippines and in Iraq. In conclusion, I want to assure you that we continue to develop programs and outreach to prevent abductions through increasing awareness of the issue. We work with other agencies, with non-governmental organizations. We use social media in what we hope is a creative way, and we utilize our own consular affairs resources. Your support remains vital. We hope that Congress will extend visa ineligibilities for those who abduct or aid abduction to convention countries as it now exists in non-Hague countries. We also hope that Congress will continue to support us in offering financial assistance to the Hague Permanent Bureau. Congressional interest remains crucial as we encourage other countries to join the convention. Since accepting this challenging and rewarding position, I've met with many left-behind parents, some of whom are here today, and I have been deeply moved by their stories. I want to reiterate to them and to you that we will never forget our duty to serve each of our citizens and, most importantly, our children. And I will be pleased to take your questions when appropriate.